Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got something different. So we all know that Marvel Contest of Champions is a very complicated game with hundreds of champions and a ton of nodes and also various game modes. So I have been playing this game for 5 years myself, and I think I have enough game knowledge to finally make a tier list. So I'm sure you have seen many tier lists from like a lot of other YouTubers, but today I'm going to show you an advanced tier list that is based on numbers. So basically we use a scoring system for every champion based on their performance in a number of criteria such as Alliance War Attack, Alliance War Defense, Alliance Quest, Prestige, and all of that stuff. So the categories are, first off, we got Alliance War Attack, Alliance War Defense, Alliance Quest, Incursions, Labyrinth of Legends, Abyss of Legends, Act 6 and Act 7 paths, Act bosses, monthly quests and variants, and Prestige. So those are the categories, and of course not everyone values the same things that I value here. So yeah, not all categories are equally spreaded. So for example, I value Alliance War more, so I put higher percentage on it, so it affects the results more than the Alliance Quest does. So here you can see the percentages of each criteria. So we got 15% on attack, 10% on defense. So totally for Alliance War, in total we have 25%. Then Alliance Quest 10% with Prestige. So it's 20% for Alliance Quest, 5% for Incursions, 7% for Labyrinth of Legends, for Abyss of Legends 8, and Act 6 and 7 with bosses is 25 in total. And then we got the last 10% for monthly quests and variants. So those add up to a total of 100%. And on your left, we have all the champions ranked in alphabetical order, and all we have to do is to fill up the boxes in each category with a number of 1 to 5 based on each character's performance in every category. So yeah, you can see the champions here, got all of them here. So after all the boxes are filled, we calculate the weighted average score on every single champion, and then we use Excel's rank function to rank the champions based on their score from highest to lowest. And then lastly, we set the thresholds for each tier, and you can see them all right here. So S tier is 3.60, for A tier we got 3 to 3.59, B tier 2.45 to 2.99, C tier from 2 to 2.44, D tier 1.50 to 1.99, E tier 1.26 to 1.49, and then lastly F tier is below 1.25. So the S tier is like beyond God tier, A tier is God tier. So yeah. And yeah, let's talk about the S tier champions first. But also keep in mind that this is for Suicide Masteries. This is based on my Masteries. And you will see that some champions are not high up because yeah, they are bad with suicides. So the first one is Shang-Chi. So why is Shang-Chi first? Let's see. So Shang-Chi is actually a very good champion for suicides, just because he removes them with just like a medium light medium combo. So he gets a 5 in AW attack just because he has great perfect or block proficiency. He takes 0 with the parries. Also, he has a very good slow. You don't need to parry because you have a stun. You can be unblockable, so he's great. For AW defense though, he doesn't really do anything, so he just gets a 2 for the chip damage in the block. He might crit through your block. For Alliance Quest he gets a 3 because he basically has immunities. So yeah, and also he's high block proficiency. That's why he gets a 3. A 4 in incursions. He's got great block proficiency, like we said. He can get a lot of precisions, which can trigger buff cornucopia. And also you don't need to parry for the block damage. Gets a 3 in Labyrinth because, yeah, he has a damage cap. And the way that Shang-Chi's damage works, I mean, even if you have power boosts, you won't have the same special damage, just because you're gonna run out of chi charges. So he only gets a 3, but if you're patient, he can do it pretty good. He gets a 5 in Abyss of Legends though, because there's a higher damage cap, and also if you can keep up the slow active all the time, which is pretty easy to do, you can even do more hits than like 250, because then they get unblockable and slowable. But if you have a slow on them and you don't rely on parries, you can pretty much solo. And also I think you can solo Luke Cage as well. Act 6 and Act 7 paths and bosses, he gets a 4. For monthly quests and variants, he gets a 4. He got great utility. And for prestige, his prestige is like 5. It's so high up, and that's what keeps him at the first rank. At the second rank though, we have Spider-Man Stealth Suit. He gets a 4 in AW attack. He's got great damage, and that slow is pretty good. 2 in defense though, just because his evade is like, you know when it's gonna happen, so you can like block or evade. For Alliance Quest, he gets 3 because he's got great damage, and his slow might be able to kill some bosses pretty good. A 2 in incursions, just because he's got low health. He just has great damage, but his buffs are like not a lot, and I don't think they trigger buff cornucopia. He doesn't have any debuffs or something like that, so he gets a 2. That's what brings him down, although it's just effective like 5%. But he gets a 4 in Labyrinth and a 5 in Abyss. For Abyss, the same reason like Shang-Chi, he can keep the slow up, and just a 2 in Labyrinth. I mean, he gets a 4 in Labyrinth, it's not a 2, it's a 4. Then for Act Bosses and Act 6 and Act Bosses, for Act Bosses and Act 6 and Act 7 paths, he gets a 4. That slow is pretty good, and the damage is insane. For monthly quests, he gets 4 and variants. That slow can actually like do variant 2, the Adaptoid that we talked about in the other video, and variant 7 where you need someone to counter those evade bosses. And then a 5 in prestige. So these guys are, yeah, they are close. But then we have Nick Fury. So Nick Fury, where is Nick Fury? You get a 4. He gets a 4 in attack, in a W attack. He's got great utility, and also you got 1 extra health. But this can actually be bad, because if you die with Nick Fury, and then if you want to heal up to be safe, you're gonna degen to death. So that's why he doesn't get a 5, because the extra health can actually destroy you. But then he gets a 5 in defense. He's so annoying. His SP2 or his SP1 is annoying if he's unblockable. He's got 2 healths. Yeah, he's pretty annoying. 3 in Alliance Quest, just because he doesn't have any immunities, but he has an extra health. 2 in Incursions, because if you lose your first health, yeah, you can't do anything. Then he gets 5 in Labyrinth. He's like the highest DPS damage in the game, or DPS champion in the game. And then he gets 4 in Labyrinth. He's not the perfect counter for Labyrinth for Abyss bosses, but a 4 is awesome, just because he doesn't need a lot of hits to do all that damage. 4 in Act bosses and Act paths. His utility is insane. Can ignore evade, you can become fully unblockable, do incredible things with bleeds. But then he gets a 3 in monthly quests and variants, In variants, I don't think he's that awesome. Like, he can ignore evade and all of that stuff, but he's not really that suicide friendly. And in order to be like great for his first health, you need like a synergy with Heimdall to get a Fury, because like it's pretty scary when you're fighting with 30% health. And for the monthly quest, he's actually amazing. Can ignore evade, but yeah, you need to throw like 2 SP1s to ignore the evade, unless the champion is an Avenger, where you start the fight with some tactical charges. And Prestige is actually pretty bad for Nick Fury. He gets a 3 there, so that is actually what keeps him at rank 3. He would go at rank 2, maybe even at rank 1. So yeah, guys, like Nick Fury, if he had 5 in Prestige, if Prestige didn't matter, I think he would be the first skill champion. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So after that, we got Kingpin at rank 4. He has been reworked. So Kingpin is such a tank. He's very good in Alliance War attack. He's got that ability accuracy reduction. If you get hit, you have so much health, man. You can heal with willpower. It's amazing. He gets a 4 in defense. He is pretty annoying actually in the path that I am fighting, where you have the spite fight, and I usually bring Ghost, but if I like try to phase the SP3, I'm not gonna get any damage, but he's gonna stun me. So he's pretty good for like a spite node where he stuns. He's got so much health, and yeah, he purifies a lot of stuff. Then he gets a 5 in Alliance Quest. His healing is amazing. Like, it's like Diablo's, but without even needing suicides. Incursions just 3, doesn't have that many buffs, and yeah, he's a tank, but you need better stuff in Incursions. 2 in Labyrinth and 2 in Abyss. His damage is decent, but not for Labyrinth or Abyss, in my opinion. A 4 in Act Paths, because his sustain is amazing. You can heal with willpower. 2 in Act Bosses, just because his utility is actually not that crazy. His ability accuracy reduction is not a lot, so only a 2. And then you have monthly quests and variants. He's an extra large champion, so he's great for that variant. And yeah, the sustain actually helps him a lot. He's great for the monthly quest actually. And 4 for Prestige, so that's what keeps him up. And yeah, let's go take a look at Aegon. So what Aegon? He's at rank 4, the last S tier champion. Aegon. So I know Aegon is like, guys probably think Aegon is the first champion, the best champion of the skill class. And I agree with that. Because look here. So he gets a 5 in Incursions, 5 in Labyrinth, 5 in Abyss, 5 in Act Paths, 4 in Bosses, because you need to have it ramped up to be great for bosses. And also 3 in monthly quests and variants. For monthly quests, he's not actually great. For variants, he's pretty good, so that's why he gets 3. And also 3 for Prestige. So 3 for Prestige, and Kingpin has 4. So if he had 4 Prestige, he would go above Kingpin for sure, if you see here. And also, this guy is like Aegon. Who uses Aegon in AW attack? So no one uses Aegon in AW attack, because you need to have him like to have some hits in order for him to be good. And he's pretty trash for like Alliance War defense. He only has like some Furies, and I put that at 2 because when you hit him, he gets some Furies, and if you get hit, you're gonna take some damage. So only that's why he gets a 2 and not a 1. And 3 for Alliance Quest. I mean, he doesn't have immunities at the start, and you need to fight a lot of fights for Alliance Quest. And if you're gonna fight a lot of fights with one champion, you're gonna heal up. So that's why he gets a 3. So if we didn't have Alliance War attack and defense and Prestige, this guy would be the first champion by miles away. And I know like Aegon is the best champion ever for Labyrinth and Abyss. He's just the best champion. His damage, his utility, it gets insane like after some hits. And also for Act Paths, he's amazing. If you ramp him up, he can do anything. Anything. So, if we didn't have Alliance War, this guy would be the first champion by far. And that's why he's at 5. Because we rank all the champions based on all of that stuff. So yeah, that's why he gets, like, he's an S tier. He's like the 5th S tier. So yeah, let's move on to some A tier champions. So Falcon. Falcon here. Where is Falcon? So Falcon, I can't find him. Okay, he gets a 5 in attack. Why? Because he can destroy like a thing. He has a lock on, it's just instant ability accuracy reduction. It's by 100%. Doesn't have anything else. But that's all you need. It's like destroys the thing. It's like the best champion to kill thing in my opinion. Gets 1 in defense. Just because he doesn't have anything. Even if he activates his SP1, the block damage is gonna be like 2%. So only 1. 3 for Alliance Quest. He doesn't have any immunities, but the lock on can be really strong. 3 for Incursions, just because it doesn't have any buffs, but the lock-on can help for some evade counters or something like that. 4 in Labyrinth, just because every hit you do with Falcon when you have the lock-on active, it counts as like the opponent evades, so you build up those cruelties and the damage gets insane. You like even hit like 50k with the last hit with SP2s. So it's pretty good. And also you can bypass the damage cap if you have a lock-on active. Only a 2 in Abyss though, because his damage is great if he has those cruelties, but in Abyss he doesn't have them, so only a 2. Then 4 in Act 6 and Act bosses. The lock-on can actually lock some champions, like literally that 100% ability accuracy at the start of the fight by holding block for 1.5 seconds is like crazy. He can like do so much stuff, like evade bosses and like counter, I don't know, Guillotine 29's invisibility and all that stuff, like the arc overload from Iron Man. Yeah, it's pretty good. For monthly quests and variants, the lock-on helps in the variants where, like in variant 7, he's a hero, so you can use him for the Spider-Verse champions, for that Adaptoid in variant 2. And for monthly quests, he's actually great because, like with lock-on, you ignore evade, so you get those furies. And even if it's Mixed Master, you can just do 5-hit combos with ending with light attacks and get 2 of those every combo. Furies. And the prestige is 4, so he's got actually pretty good prestige. And he's at rank 6. So then we got Mole Man. So Mole Man actually, his rework is pretty good. Gets a 4 in attack, his damage is pretty good. And also, if you use some heavy attacks, build up those charges he has. If the opponent is stunning you, you can like do the thing with Killmonger. If you have those charges, those yellow charges with Killmonger where you block and become unstoppable, can count them as parries, but they are not parries. So you can go in if you block a hit. 4 in AW defense, he's pretty annoying with purifying stuff. And if you get hit with the guaranteed crits, yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot. Gets a 4. 3 in Alliance Quest, just because it doesn't have like any regen or something like that. 2 in Incursions, doesn't have any buffs. He can't regen for some health. So only a 2 actually. 3 for Labyrinth and 3 for Abyss. His damage is pretty good. 4 in Act 7 and Act 6. For the paths, can purify a lot of stuff. You have like a path, like a cold snap or something like that. You get incinerated or poisoned. You can strike it off easily. 3 for bosses. He can do pretty good stuff, but not a lot. So he gets a 3, decent. And then he gets a 4 in monthly quest and variants. I think he's an extra large champion, so that's why he gets like a 4. Yeah, he's an extra large and he gets a 4. He's good in monthly quest 2 and 3 in prestige. So prestige actually keeps him down a bit. He would be above Falcon if they had the same prestige, but I think Falcon had like 4. So yeah, he had a 4. If he had a 3 as well, Moldman would be up. And then we got Blade. So Blade, he gets 4 in attack if you use him with synergy, with like a Ghost Rider one or a Mephisto one. Can shut down some nodes. He's crazy like that. 2 in defense because he shrugs off things faster the more bar he has. 5 in alliance quest. His sustain is amazing even for suicide users, so definitely a 5 there. 3 in incursions. You can heal, but yeah, he's got some good utility, but for incursions it's actually pretty difficult to get like a full team for Blade, because you need like someone like Magneto for like the robots, or someone with good sustain like Claire. So it's hard to bring a full synergy team just for Blade. Labyrinth gets a 3. He's got great damage, but 2 for Abyss, because Abyss is harder. 4 in Act Paths because he's got that danger sense and that good sustain. 3 for, and also you can use him with some synergies because you have 5 slots. 3 for bosses. 4 for monthly quests and variants. 3 for prestige. So prestige actually keeps him down as well. And yeah, let's talk about Crossbones, or yeah, let's go talk about Killmonger. He gets a 4 in attack. I don't use him in attack, but yeah, he's got those indestructible charges with his SP2. They are amazing. He's actually got some pretty good damage. That true strike can actually help a lot. 5 for defense. He is so annoying, man. I don't want to see any Killmongers in defense, because like he's so annoying. You need an armor break immune for that reverberation. His SP1 is tricky. He can get you back in the corner, all that stuff. 3 in alliance quest. He doesn't have any good sustain or immunities. 3 for incursions, the same reason. 3 for labyrinth and 2 for abyss. His damage is not great, but if you build up those bleeds, he can do something, so that's why he gets 3 there. 4 in act paths. That indestructible can actually help you for that chip damage with the block, and it's pretty good. You can tank SP3s pretty sure. 3 for act bosses because you got a good true strike. 3 for monthly quest. That true strike can help you ignore evade if you go back after an SP1 or an SP2, but it depends on the special. And for variant, he can actually work. That true strike can help you for that adaptoid, but it can't help you on variant 7 because he's not a hero, so that's why he gets a 3. He's not really the greatest. And only 2 for prestige, man. Look how bad his prestige is, man. So yeah, if you look up on Aunt May, yeah, that's what keeps him down a lot. And then the last champion, or last 2 champions we're going to talk about are Crossbones. So Crossbones, 4 in attack. His damage is phenomenal. He purifies a lot of stuff. He can even purify encroaching stun if you like don't time it correctly. Reduces ability accuracy, like such a beast. 2 for defense because he can purify stuff. But yeah, he doesn't have any hard specials or anything like that. So if you like bring an Archangel, you're good. So only a 2, and also because he doesn't crit, so he can't hit you that hard unless he has a lot of Furies. 2 in Alliance Quest, just because yeah, he doesn't have any sustain. But yeah, that purifying stuff for suicides can actually help you if you don't like take any hits for Alliance Quest. But he doesn't really apply poisons and for all of those paths. But yeah, 3 for incursions, he gets a lot of buffs. 3 for labyrinth, 3 for abyss, he's got decent damage. Act 6 and act bosses, 3 because of that ability accuracy reduction, but no sustain. 4 in monthly quest because can pretty much ignore evade. after some Furies. And for variants, exactly the same thing. And 4 for prestige. So Crossbones is A tier. And yeah, Black Panther here. He isn't quite an A tier. I wish he was, but yeah, he's not. And yeah, he's got 4 for prestige actually. But he gets 3 in attack, doesn't have great utility, 2 but he can remove 2 sides. 2 in defense, he's not really that bad, just his new animations are kinda scary. 2 for Alliance Quest, no sustain, exactly the same like Crossbones. 2 for Incursions, gets 2 because he doesn't have any buffs, and no sustain. 2 for Labyrinth and 2 for Abyss. His damage is decent, but not like Crossbones. 3 for Act 7, because he can deal some pretty good damage there. He's also got a good synergy with Killmonger for him to gain True Strike. For Act bosses, just a 3. For monthly quest, 3 and 4 for prestige. So he's like B tier. So yeah guys, that's gonna do it for the list here. So yeah, I mean Aegon, if we didn't have Alliance War, if we didn't care about Alliance War, so if you guys don't do Alliance War, Aegon is the best champion for you. I guarantee you, if we didn't like have Alliance War, he would be up like miles away from even Shang-Chi. Because Shang-Chi is like a 5 for AW attack. This counts at like 15%. So he would go first champion. And I know Aegon, I know how he can do. I've seen all the videos, I've used him as well. Yeah, he's the best champion for Labyrinth and Abyss for sure. And Act Paths. It's like amazing. But yeah guys, I hope this helps. That is my opinion for the skill class. Shang-Chi is the best. I even grinded for him in the 5-star or in the arena. I wish I could get him as a 6-star, but even the 5-star, it might be better because we got him a weekend. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.